Hello everyone and welcome. Something unbelievable is happening. Stoopzz TV is quitting World of Warcraft after 15 years. And I'm starting to believe that there's something wrong with the number 15 in World of Warcraft. Like the number 15 must be freaking cursed or something. I've already seen at least 3 videos of people quitting World of Warcraft after 15 years or trying a new MMO. Like there's something up with the number 15 for sure. But yeah, I'm actually shocked that Stoopzz TV is quitting World of Warcraft. He makes those really cool and good guides to World of Warcraft. Like, wow, I can't believe that. But yeah, let's have a look and see why he's actually quitting. Maybe it has something to do with the scandal of Blizzard Activision, but hey, who knows? Let's see.
Dude, how did we get here? When I started this YouTube channel, I had so much love for WoW PvP. And I know a lot of people say WoW is a PvE game, Omega lol. And yes, I know WoW is a PvE game nowadays, but to me, it was always just so much more than that. The first time I logged on WoW,
but PvP is good too.
And my parents had recently split up. We didn't have a lot of money, so
that's how he looked like.
And all I wanted to do was play games.
Yo, seriously, he changed a lot. That's how he used to look like? Like, if you look at him now, he's so different.
We didn't have a lot of money, so we moved into my aunt's house, and all I wanted to do
was gotten so skinny.
With my friends back home. My friends Ricky and Brandon told me about a game called World of Warcraft, and I begged my mom for about a week straight for the $15 so I could pay that monthly subscription.
Yeah, I tried that and I failed.
I decided to give me the money to play the game.
Oh, I wanted to play WoW for so long, and I always failed convincing my parents.
Was duels, low-level battlegrounds, and world PvP. None of that boring, lame Dragon Slayer Joe shit that everyone likes today. Durotar was packed, world PvP was alive, and everyone was dueling and ganking each other to make a name for themselves on the server. In fact, there used to be these two...
Yo, those are the good old days. Like, I remember watching my... Like, actually, there's something funny about my story with World of Warcraft. So when I was, like, younger, and I was, like, in my early teens, like, I really wanted to play World of Warcraft, but my parents, they didn't want to get me the game because they said, oh, there's a monthly subscription and that's not good. If this was a game that costs like 60 euros, like they would just buy it. They don't care, even if it's 80 euros. But because it has a monthly subscription, they don't want to buy this game for me, right? So I was like, oh shit, what should I do? And at this time, I was like too young to do a part-time job. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't I like 14 years old or something? And there's just one kind of job you can do here in Germany when you're like super young, and that's like delivering newspapers and stuff. Like I've done this too, but it doesn't pay enough for like a monthly subscription and everything because you're not making so much, right? And yeah, I really wanted to get the game and too bad. But I got it really late. I got World of Warcraft eventually, but once I became an adult.
Losers, these night elf losers that would gank me 24/7 named Starsky and Hush. Regardless, it was still probably some of the best times of my life. However, as I got older and right as I was leaving for college, my dad ended up passing away and my mom at the same time had to go in for this crazy heart procedure to get a valve transplant.
Wow, I'm sorry.
And all of that news just sent me down this really weird path. I started using a bunch of substances and I stopped playing World of Warcraft. And this whole thing went on for a couple of years until I got in a really bad accident with one of my friends and my mom had to go in for another procedure. I realized at that moment that if I want to be there for my mom, I'm going to have to clean up my act. And in order to do that, the only thing I knew how to do was just play World of Warcraft. So I picked back up the game and then I realized all of my friends had quit. The game felt extremely different. I had a really difficult time finding people to play with. And everyone just seems so interested in PvE. And because of this, I was so frustrated that I decided to make a YouTube channel to try to promote PvP and get people excited about PvP so other players...
so that's how the channel started basically, with like the PvP and also like those PvP guides. Like Stoopzz has some really good PvP guides. Like I really like his guides. He does a really good job with it. And oh wow. Like he really had a rough start, and that with the people leaving, I've noticed this happens a lot. Usually, like a year or so after a certain expansion, if like nothing new comes out, right? Like that's usually like this time. Like let's say a new expansion comes out, and for like the first half, sometimes to up to a year, it's like really active, and then like people are getting on a break or getting away from the game. It's kind of like they are either taken away by life and maybe they move somewhere, they start a family or something, get like a full-time job somewhere, Or sometimes it's just that people are like waiting for a new expansion. I've seen this happen quite a lot with a lot of MMOs. Same with Elder Scrolls Online. When I was like playing Elder Scrolls Online, like 1 year after after the latest expansion, before I got on a big break, I've also noticed a lot of people, they just quit or get on a break. Maybe because they also run out of content. Like if an expansion is out for like a year, most people have done everything and they just get away from it.
Players would try it, and through that frustration, everything started to turn out all right. I finished my degree in family therapy, I got sober, I made a bunch of new friends.
That's nice.
This YouTube channel.
Positive development.
Then BFA hit, and I noticed a huge shift in how the game was designed. It
started
to feel impossible to maintain an alt. There was a ton of barriers to entry that were created, and the actual gameplay began to suffer.
It created stress.
My time spent playing the game was filled with chores rather than doing the actual things that I enjoy. The reason I was
that's like from the mobile gaming industry. It was inspired by that, I think, and I hate this. I'm not a big fan of mobile gaming.
Rather than focusing on promoting PvP,
themes.
I spent my time creating videos aimed at generating awareness on the issues that I believed were plaguing the game. You know, over time, I'd read some comments from viewers telling me to vote with my wallet instead of trying to make videos advocating for change, saying that voting with my wallet.
You can't do that as a full-time content creator or streamer. If you are dedicated to a certain game and you're making like videos on that or streaming on that, and like the majority or almost everyone from your follower base is just following you because of maybe the certain game. I mean, there are some people, they watch you for you because you're funny or your personality. But it's often like that when you make content that a lot of people, they end up following or subscribing to you because they're into this game and they see you're also playing the game. So there's like a common interest, you could say. And that's how like people bond with you, right? And through that, like if you're like big, like him, for example, when it comes to like streaming, you have like a big viewer base and you start make like a living out of it. Like it's not so easy to get away because like everything, like your whole foundation is based on a certain game as a creator. And if you get away from this game, like this can not only make your numbers drop a lot, but sometimes it's like really hard to recover from that. Because if you pick up like a new game, I give you an example. You have like this big World of Warcraft channel, and when you're streaming, you have on average, let's say 300 viewers every stream, right? Or sometimes even 400. And that's like on regular basis. And then suddenly you pick up, let's say, maybe Call of Duty or some other game, and it's like maybe even like a whole other genre, like a shooting game, and you are playing MMOs, and maybe you only get like 50 or 100 viewers suddenly, or even less, who knows. And then you can no longer maintain your channel that way, and instead of growing, you're like falling slowly or something. I mean, sure, you can get like new followers and start all over, but it's not so easy, especially if you have built your channel around a certain game. Like I know what I'm talking about because I'm doing variety content, and if you do variety like myself, like sometimes you have videos that freaking blow up. You get like 50k, 100k views, and it says, oh, you gain like 400 subs from this video. Like I had this quite often where like a single video would give me 300-400 or more subs if it blew up. I even had like one video give me almost 2,000 subs, so it was really crazy. It was like my biggest video or so. And yeah, if you're into something and you grow from it, it's difficult to just switch.
It was the only way that Blizzard would listen. And to be honest, they were probably right. But the game had meant way more to me than just that monthly subscription. It represented a huge change in my life. So
that's true. Emotional connection.
People talk about the idea that WoW is doomed, it's impossible to fix, and that the good times are simply a thing of the past.
It's not impossible. They just need to change the devs.
I say that because, in my opinion, fixing World of Warcraft, at least the daily gameplay, is rather simple. When you look at the gameplay model of a typical MMO, you'll find that they often feature several progression paths. Most players have come to expect your initial leveling and class progression, followed by your overall gear progression. This will then lead you into the end game progression, which consists of high-end PvE or PvP content. And although gear is a reward through these end game progression paths, you are also working towards various accomplishments and achievements demonstrating that you've improved over time. Unfortunately,
exactly, like the game focus of our MMO shouldn't just be like leveling and the freaking gear, because that's sort of easy to get. I don't think it's so hard to like gear up in World of Warcraft and also like level to max. Now it's actually on retail way too easy. Like on classic, it will take you several weeks to be like max, depending on how often you play, unless someone is like freaking grinding you through a dungeon. But yeah, the progression shouldn't be in an MMO just about gear and leveling, but it should be freaking achievements or getting some really cool mounts and collecting this and transmogs. Because transmogs, mounts, and achievements, that's a freaking true end game. Let's be real here.
Fortunately, Blizzard decided to add even more progression paths to the game to satisfy some type of metric or perhaps to revive this missing RPG.
Oh, Renown was the biggest shit. I hate Renown because it's locked behind weekly cap.
Chores. And you hear players.
It's like mobile gaming. I hate this. I don't like this concept.
Progression systems, your Heart of Azeroth, your Legendary Cloak, your Renown and Covenant campaigns, etc.
And farming Ash and stuff.
Progression systems in which your character's overall power level is locked behind. This means that your endgame experience is now clouded behind your Covenant progression, into your campaign progression.
This sucks for alts.
Into your Soulbind progression.
Like I can't even max my DK because of this.
For other mandatory systems in the game, and has bled over from previous expansions despite players stating they dislike the fact that player power is locked behind these additional progression paths. Now, if we could kind of just control alt delete all of these additional systems and focus more on what the players actually enjoy, the game, in my opinion, would be so much better. More dungeons, more raids, more class changes, more battlegrounds,
and dungeon scaling,
customization, and regular release.
What I want to see is freaking time walking on every single dungeon without restriction. Like this week it's this dungeon. Like they should make it like it is in Final Fantasy XIV, for example, where you can do any dungeon, even like an early game dungeon, and either this dungeon is scaling with you or you are scaling with the dungeon. And they can still like make the item level to a certain cap. Let's say the item level cannot be above 180. Only the latest expansion gives anything beyond 200 or something. Like it's easy to make old content viable and fun to do, for example, without replacing the expansion, by just adding like an item level cap, or maybe including some sort of stone or resource you get from the latest expansion dungeon, and it only drops there. And if you do like older dungeons or something that scale with you or you with them, you have the chance to upgrade maybe the gear or something with like those unique stones you only get in the latest expansions, or you just do like a certain, because what I'm seeing right now is, and that's a big issue, they don't make dungeons or other stuff scale, so you only have like the latest expansion ones to pick as a endgame player. So the content isn't so much for the player, right? In World of Warcraft, you have like a small amount of dungeons suddenly from all the zones and dungeons there are. And what do they do to solve this? They do something that's common in the freaking mobile game industry, where there are some chores or something that are getting upgraded just weekly, or you can just do this once a day or something, like the daily sort of activity. Same with the Renown. You get like every week like certain NPCs that give you a quest that will give you Renown. If you're like an odd character, like I'm having, for example, besides my Warlock, I have an Unholy Decay. And if I want to farm my Renown, I need to like sometimes wait for like a week until the quest gets reset and I can farm this. Or I have to literally spam dungeons all over again. And there's like just a chance you get the Renown. Because I did some dungeon runs, I wasn't getting any Renown, so it's very annoying. I think they should, rather than focus on the mobile gaming thing, make old content scale so that the like the end game players or old school players can get to like old school dungeons instead of doing the daily and limited kind of quests, right? Because it's so annoying.
Released content, which includes all of the previous things mentioned, that would be an expansion I would want to play. I want a deep focus on classes, not on conduits, soulbinds, and legendaries that will disappear after 2 years.
And add more PvP zones, more kind of arenas.
A random guy who watched a Twitch ad, which, by the way, you guys should check out my Twitch stream, of course, and subscribe to my channel.
Yay!
It's free. You just reach over and click with the little.
Oh, now that he mentions it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well, and of course to his channel.
And it would absolutely make my day. But with that, 80% of my time playing World of Warcraft is spent doing things that I don't enjoy, just so I can spend 20% of my time doing the things that I actually enjoy. And that's wrong.
That's ninja on this.
Video games are supposed to be fun.
But that's fun.
I'm supposed to want to log in and play every day.
Exactly.
Not dread the thought of my time playing the game. And for me, it doesn't end there. When I watch the Arena Championships, I'm embarrassed of the actual gameplay. The game is riddled with ridiculous cooldowns and multipliers, as well as various passives that are responsible.
It's gotten just worse in time.
Run out dampener games, and the random one-shots that obliterate you from 80% health.
Yeah. What the heck? Yo, that was the...
And these issues,
Yo, that was one of the most extreme ragings I've ever seen.
All of these systems and borrowed power systems that eventually get removed. And all of this has led me to one question. The reason I started making YouTube videos in the first place. If a new player comes into my stream and asks me, Stoopzz, should I get into WoW PvP?
Oh no.
My answer would have to
be no.
The barrier to entry is way too high. The LFG system is horrible at finding potential partners, and the actual gameplay is nowhere near where it can be or should be.
And that's so sad because there aren't many good PvP MMOs these days.
It feels wrong.
Only New World probably, right?
And for me, that is the saddest part. From where I came from and how I started to where we are today. I tried my absolute best to push for changes that I thought players would appreciate, but you know what? Maybe Blizzard isn't designing the game for players like me anymore. Maybe I'm not.
I wonder why they don't listen to their content creators, like streamers and stuff.
Still has a future. In fact, the other day I saw a job opening being posted for a PvP designer working on World of Warcraft, and a year ago that would have been my dream job. But over time, I've realized that I enjoy much more working with you guys and the community. There's new administration in charge, and in fact, the co-president was in my stream the other day. Seems like a great guy. Wow. He's interacting with the community. So again, I think World of Warcraft has a future, but for now, I'm not sure I'll be a part of it. And I know some of you
that's so sad.
look forward to WoW content, so I'll still post broad news-related videos here and there. But until Blizzard does right by correcting all of the issues that are going on within their workplace and begins making fundamental
play nice, play fair,
I will not consider returning. I want to be on the journey of finding the next MMO or a game that will inspire me to make videos. Perhaps
that's what we are all on, like the big journey. What's the king of MMOs now? To me personally, like from all MMOs right now, I'm enjoying the most Final Fantasy 14. Like Elder Scrolls Online is cool too, and I like it, but for a New World also looks quite interesting. Ashes of Creation is super promising, but right now I would say my most favorite one is Final Fantasy 14, and it has a huge free trial. So if you want to try it, Final Fantasy 14, it has a big free trial. You can level up to level 60 and do the first expansion, and wow, it's really fun.
Be on the journey of finding the next MMO or a game that will inspire me to make videos. Perhaps it's New World or Final Fantasy, albeit the PvP doesn't look great in those games, I'm still willing to give them a try. Currently, I'm
PvP is not good, I've heard, in FF14
now, and the arena and PvP experience has probably been the most fun I've had in years. There's no insane grind to PvP, everything is equalized, and the combat feels like a game should feel in 2021. It's something that I'm
does it look a bit like League of Legends?
Who knows? Maybe I'll make videos on other games that I think you will all enjoy. I want to keep my options open, but I know there are many players like me that are looking for a game to satisfy that MMO PvP itch, and I want to help them find that. And if it turns out that game doesn't exist,
this is very tough.
Then at least I can say I tried. I really want to thank everyone so much who has supported me up until this point. I make videos because I enjoy interacting with you guys. I know
Same here.
YouTube channel pivot like this at my size can be pretty detrimental, and I'm taking a leap here. I know some of you may not be interested in supporting me in reviewing upcoming projects, but I really think I can do a great job at that. So at this point, I simply have two options. I can either continue making WoW videos in hopes to relive memories of the past, or I can follow my heart in creating new ones.
Or you start doing variety. But it's tricky. Oh. Oh. Those good old days. Oh, that's so sad. Oh. Wait, is he really doing that, or is it from just someone? After 15 years and 2 men. Yeah, but what's up with the number 15? It must be cursed. So many quit after 15 years. Why not 14? Why not 13? Why not 16? Why it has to be 15? Oh. PS. Solo. It's raining outside, the atmosphere is matching here. Yo, this is sad. There's so many are quitting, and the 15, probably like Blizzard hates the number 15 now, because I've seen a lot of content creators, also like Jesse for example, and they all quit after 15 years or try another game, or 15-year-old veteran tries Final Fantasy 14. Like, what's up with 15? Like, that's something I'm trying to figure out. Like, I've not seen anything with after 10 years, after, I don't know, 17 years, 16 years, after, I don't know, any number, but it's always 15, 15. Why can't it be 12 or 13 years? But anyway, that's so sad to see that someone's like so dedicated to something and their whole career is even based on that. And like, one thing about Stoopzz is also his childhood, right? Was influenced a lot by it. In his like really hard times and struggles, he always had like World of Warcraft to get away from like daily troubles in real life, right? It was like a escaping for him in a way. So of course it became like his best friend because it helped him through hardships. And then to leave this game, and if you have like friends there or a guild, it's even harder, because what makes an MMO is also the community, right? And if you're in a community and you joined a guild, you have friends that play the game, and then you suddenly like quit, this is really, really tough, because you have some bonding also with people in the game. And it's so sad that so many people are quitting. I hope they can fix World of Warcraft, and instead of adding mobile gaming like content where you have to do something daily to farm something, or weekly and it only refreshes then, they should consider making old content scale, or maybe add like new quests in already existing zones that give you something cool, like maybe some cool transmog or mounts, or like new quest lines. But the quest lines, they are not for like the main quest, but quest lines that give you something if you go through them or something. Like, there are many ways to add cool stuff to already existing content, or to make already existing content interesting again. Like I said, dungeon scaling, we really want that in WoW, right? Because we don't want to be stuck always on 3-4 dungeons of the latest expansion or something, because that sucks. And yeah, I do hope from like the bottom of my heart that World of Warcraft can make a recovery, and there can be a WoW reborn. That would be nice, World of Warcraft reborn, right? But yeah, let's see what will happen. But anyway guys, that's it for today's video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. There will be more content coming soon. And I would also appreciate if you like this video. This will help out with the YouTube algorithm. And I wish everyone a wonderful day. Please stay all safe and healthy. And I will see you guys next time.